this group. Everybody ready? Okay, I'll start and then I'll take some questions. Yeah, I mean, I'm paid to make those kicks, so I want to. I want it more for my teammates and the coaching staff and ownership in the city, I think, more than I want it for myself. So, yeah, I want that for this group. And it's frustrating in one sense. Like, obviously, professionally, I invest a lot of time and effort into what I do, and to see it not come to fruition is frustrating. It's been a frustrating year. But at the same time, like, my foundation, y'all probably heard me say this again. My foundation's in Christ. It's unshakable. I'm not afraid of failures or successes, either one. I still have peace on the field, even though it hasn't, necessarily turned into made kicks as much as I want. I still feel really good mentally, which might not make sense to some people out there, but I feel good. I'm not panicked. I just need to find a good swing. And so the swing has been tough to find today. This year.
Compensate.
Yeah, what do you got? Sorry, start up.
I'm sorry. Did you overcompensate with the second one? You missed that one, right?
Yeah. Usually I try to hit the same ball, but I had missed so many times left this year. I was like, well, and the wind was also moving right to left, so I was like, I'm going to arrow right, and I had late leg lock and aired too far.
You told us in New Orleans that you thought maybe you had figured something out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess what happened?
Honestly, every week, like, I feel like I'm there working, and I'm like, okay, I feel like maybe this is the swing thought that will work. And maybe 1 week it does. Usually a swing thought will work for like 5 weeks, and then maybe you have to find a new one. But this year it's been like you got to find one every week. So it's been tough going.
Has it been the same thing though for you every time? It's just a little bit different, or has it been drastically something that you felt was off each week?
What do you mean same thing? Sorry.
Like, what was going wrong? Like you said, you were correcting things. Was it?
Oh yeah, no, it's different stuff, and that's what sometimes makes it even harder. Is you correct one thing and then something else rears its head.
One of the best kickers in the history of the NFL right now, Justin Tucker, is also kind of struggling a little bit. Mm-hmm. Do you guys ever reach out, talk to each other, offer each other any kind of support or anything like that?
No, I mean, Justin, you can't argue with what he's done throughout his career. He's been amazing. But no, some guys you know better than others. Justin's not a guy that I've got to work with in the off season very often. So there's a handful of them that we'll talk and text, and you work together during the off season to work on stuff. But I know Justin through pregame, but I don't know him well enough to reach out, or vice versa.
Dustin, Kevin said you're still the guy. I know you have the contract extension, but is that getting in the back of your mind at all that you miss as many kicks that they might want to go somewhere else and try somebody else?
No, and I don't say this. I don't take the job lightly. So I'm almost afraid to say it because I feel like it'll get quoted half of it. But I'll try to be smarter with what I'm saying. I'm not worried about that. And it's not because I don't care about the job. Like I said, I want to do well for this locker room, and this coaching staff has been, and this ownership, honestly, has been so amazing, and I want to do well for them. So all I can do is worry about the next thing, And so, no, I like working. I like being here. This is a great building. But it's not something I think about. Yeah.
So I saw Jordan Hicks kind of give you a little hug, Miles patting you on the back. What does that support from your teammates mean?
These guys have been awesome. They've just been unwavering in how kind they've been to me. And so, I wish there was a more eloquent way to say that, but they've just been nothing short of building me up, supportive, reminding me. Like I said, we got a good handful of people who follow Jesus in this locker room. They remind, we remind each other when things go good or when things go bad. That's not what our life is built on. This game, even though it's a big piece of our life, and we want to do well. So I've just got tremendous support from this locker room.
I've seen you and Jameis kind of at times console each other a little bit in the locker room too. So, I mean, do you feel for him too in the same way where like he wants so badly to play a clean football game?
Absolutely.
And sometimes it just doesn't work out that way?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, Jameis is my brother. He's in a number of ways, not only in faith, but also from Florida State and this team. So win, lose, or draw, I'm riding with Jameis. And so, and hopefully these guys say the same thing about me.
Dustin, obviously last year, we know how incredible the season had. Just what is it like year to year that can change and fluctuate that, put that in perspective, I guess, for people, just like what can change so much year to year where you have a great year a year ago and this year just going through some.
Sure. I mean, I'm trying to think of a good analogy. Do you golf?
Yeah.
Do some days seem like really easy when you go out there, and then other days you're like, man, what's going on? I think kicking. I mean, golf analogies and kicking are typically overused, but I think that fits where sometimes playing golf's easy, and sometimes playing golf is one of the hardest games around. So I think it's similar in that way.
Justin, I know percentage-wise, this is like an outlier for the rest of your career. You've been pretty consistent throughout. So does
I haven't even looked it up, so no one tell me. I'm aware it's probably not good.
It's been an outlier. So does that? I mean, it sounds like you don't think about that at all. But I was going to ask, like, does it help kind of, I guess, keep your confidence in a weird way? Like, I know the kind of guy I am at this point, like 10 years in or whatever. Or...
Yeah. Well, I didn't know it last year when things were going well.
Yeah.
I don't want to know it this year either. It is an outlier. I think statistically, I think chances are low that statistically this would happen. So in that sense, it's frustrating. But yeah, you got to treat it like you just said. This is not who I am as a player, and I'm going to do everything I can within my power to be the best version of myself I can be for this team, for this city, and for myself.
Obviously, consistency is key for your position. How do you create consistency then when things aren't the same every week and you're trying to overcorrect today? How do you work on building that consistency in any of these last 4 games?
I don't know. I mean, changing stuff form-wise is not a new thing. Even last year, I had to change things during the week, and on game day, it was not an issue. So I don't want to make it seem like I'm just changing stuff all the time, and that's the reason it hasn't been as consistent. It's just part of kicking and swinging, and you got to make changes to try to become better. So I'm just going to lean on things that I've done for a number of years now, and try to be the best I can be. And those are different swing thoughts or whatever it might be.
And you can help you through this.
Yes.
Just go.
How has Bubba helped you through just this season? Obviously, just in his role, especially as player, but also his career, and just kind of working through everything, those conversations you have with him.
Sure. I mean, Bubba has been, like I mentioned earlier, about with this team, with this coach staff, locker room, has been really supportive. And I mean, I know I need to do better, and he knows that this is not the standard. So I don't want to make it seem like he's lowering the standard of what expectations are. But at the same time, he's had my back. So I'm just thankful to him as well.
Justin, you said mentally you're good. Like you don't. Just how have you learned to kind of combat that over the years, knowing you do a job that is so black and white? It's either make or miss.
Yeah.
Like, so how do you kind of combat that? How do you keep yourself in a good mental state?
Yeah. Several ways. Might be a long-winded answer, so I apologize. I think one is, like I mentioned, like I know that Jesus' love for me doesn't change whether I make or miss a kick. And then piggybacking off that, the love of my wife, the love of my kids doesn't change based on whether I make or miss a kick. My friends, that's one. And then I think about hardships that people go through in life, real life stuff. Like when people are trying to make ends meet, we're a family with a kid with special needs, and we've got a lot of things at our disposal to make life easier for us. But there's a lot of people that don't have that same thing afforded to them. So I think about that, and I think about people who are battling diseases and sickness, and I think ultimately it's important because I want to do well, and people care about this game, and I want to do well for the city and the people that care about the game. But at the same sense, 10, 20 years from now, this will just be a blink of an eye in my life and a blink in eternity, honestly. Yeah. So I know that was a long answer.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.